How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the 9th annual Dragons Chamber. Thank you guys very much for coming. You guys ready to see some pitches? Can we do a little bit better than that? I think so, right? A lot of people out here. You guys ready to see some pitches tonight? All right, my name is Eddie Gonzalez. I will be your host for this afternoon, and we are here to see the Dragons, to see all the people pitching. It's going to be a very, very exciting afternoon. Yes, so we're going to start with the sponsors. And the first thing we're going to talk about is, what is Dragons Chamber about? So Dragons Chamber is an opportunity for immigrants, entrepreneurs, to pitch to some of the heavy hitters in the industry, some angel investors, some big business owners and stuff like that. So it's a very, very good opportunity. We recommend it, and I'm very happy to be here. Like I said, one more time, my name is Eddie Gonzalez, and I'm very happy to meet you guys. So thank you guys for coming. Let's get started, yeah? All right, let's start with the sponsors. All right. So sponsor number one, Business Next. Let me just head over here. Okay. Yes. Let me first give a big thank you to Meet Taipei for inviting us to join their exciting event. This year is their 10th year, so let's give them a hand. Okay. Beautiful. Of course, we want to send a shout out to Musa Trademark, right? If you guys are looking to get trademarked in Taiwan, Musa Trademark is the best choice, right? We do that actually for my restaurant as well. So shout out to Musa Trademark. Future Ward. So Future Ward will be donating for first place, a 3-month hot desk. Second place will be a 2-month hot desk, and third place will be a 1-month hot desk. So that's a pretty valuable prize right there. So we want to thank you to Future Ward. Okay, let me see if I can see. Anemone Ventures, an 1.5-hour consultation session. So that's going to be donated from Anemone Ventures. Thank you guys very much for that. Very, very, very nice. Gerber Brand Consulting. They will be donating a half-day brand strategy diagnosis with consultants. So that's very cool. Very, very good prize. Thank you very much to Gerber Brand Consulting. And of course, Inspire. 30K to all teams for Taiwan B2B telemarketing services and free phone answering services for 3 months. Very special thanks to Inspire. All right, beautiful. Yep. The Canadian Chamber of Commerce Taiwan. Can you guys hear me? Okay. One free individual chamber membership for each finalist team. So that's a great prize. Thank you to the Canadian Chamber of Commerce Taiwan. And Cetacea, they will have a 3-hour consultation on strategic communications. So very, very nice. Thank you very much to Cetacea. And of course, our media sponsors, the Taiwan Impact Entrepreneurs. Another mic I can get? Yeah. Taiwan Impact Entrepreneurs. ICRT FM 100. Sorry, here we go. Oh, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. Maybe I'll just speak really loud. Okay, ICRT FM 100. And of course, the Eddie Live podcast, which is my podcast, is the longest running English podcast in Taiwan. We do weekly podcasts every Tuesday night, live from my restaurant at Eddie's Cantina. If you guys have a chance, come down on a Tuesday night and check us out, Eddie Live podcast. All right, one more time, special thanks to Canadian Chamber of Commerce Taiwan, Inspire, and the Musa Trademark. Those are the co-organizers for this event. One more hand shout out for these guys. Thank you very much. Give them a hand. All right, so now let's introduce the Dragons. Without further ado, Dragon number 1, Dr. Torbjorn Nordling, is an international angel investor do we have? So there we go. International angel investor with a passion for disruptive innovation and research, Dr. Torbjorn Nordling. Dragon number 2 is Richard Brown. He's an Australian entrepreneur and investor with over 20 years experience with renewable energy, IoT education, and real estate. So Richard Brown, thank you very much for coming out. Number 3 would be Taiwei Wang, an entrepreneur and venture leader with a track record of building and scaling enterprises across Asia and beyond. And finally, of course, Elias Eck, the co-founder and CEO of Inspire, who's an active investor in many startups in Taiwan. Thank you guys very much. So to start it off, we want to have and welcome, we want to welcome Ping Chu to give a speech. Ping is the vice chairman of the Canadian Chamber and also owns the education company Apex Language Consulting. Ping Chu, welcome to the stage.
Thank you very much, Eddie. It's always great to see you, by the way. So I'm going to do the whole iPhone thing. I'm going to do my best I can, all right? So, thank you very much, everyone. It's an honor to be here on behalf of the Canadian Chamber of Commerce. First of all, I'd like to thank the organizers for your persistence and hard work for 9 years, putting on this amazing event. It's really hard to believe that next year will be the 10-year anniversary of Dragon's Chamber. I'd also like to thank Meet Taipei for being generous hosts, and also the judges for your incredibly valuable time. The Chamber is extremely proud to be part of this event, and we've been part of this event since its inception. Foreign entrepreneurs make a huge part of this member base, and this is of course one of the few events where we get to really shine a spotlight on immigrant entrepreneurs here in Taiwan. And there's no bigger cheerleader for immigrant entrepreneurs than of course our favorite immigrant entrepreneur, Elias Eck. Us immigrant entrepreneurs, we make a difference. We've all seen the positive influence we've made on Taiwan culture and the economy. We inject new ideas, a different kind of creativity and spark, and create totally new markets for products and services. We are important to Taiwan, and yet we are so rarely seen, but today we get to have the spotlight. The Chamber is proud to be a hub for foreign entrepreneurs, and we use our platform to support many foreign-owned SMEs and startups. So if that sounds like you, we very much encourage you to join us as a member. We'll put up our QR code throughout today so that you can see it, and then hopefully you can also join as a member. So I want to conclude by wishing all of the contestants the best of luck, and thank you very much for the audience for coming out to show your support today. Thank you again, and take care.
All right, thank you very much, Ping Chu. And it is also nice to see you as well. I think we only see each other once a year. Once a year. All right. Okay, so next we would like to have Elias come to the stage very much. Elias Eck. Okay, Elias, thank you very much. You have certainly given everyone here some very important things to think about, and hopefully some inspiration to many potential immigrant entrepreneurs.
Hello, everybody! Woo! I love being on this stage every year. It's number 9, soon we're going to be number 10. So I used to say that this is an event for foreign entrepreneurs. I never ever use that word anymore. I'm an immigrant to this country, and I think that's an important distinction. All right? So, I'm from Sweden. I came here nearly 25 years ago after a brief 5-year stint in the US. I consider myself to be a pretty good ambassador for Sweden in Taiwan. I want to give a shout out to 2 people in the audience today though. First of all is the real ambassador for Sweden here in Taiwan. May I introduce you, Helena? Please stand up. And somebody who is important to me would be my father, who is here to watch this event for the first time this year. Yes. So, my day-to-day job is to be the boss of Inspire, a company I founded 22 years ago. We are a B2B firm. Most of our history for the first 20 years we service large companies like Oracle and such a thing. If you're interested in what we do, we have a booth right there, strategically located right next to the stage here. But importantly, for the last 2 years, we've been starting to add more and more startup customers. And you know, it's really only because of events like this that there are more and more startups that can afford our services. So a big shout out to Me Taipei and all the pink shirts in the room that are really creating this community. Now, one thing that has happened this year is that we put out a petition to try to change Taiwan law so that APRC holders after 5 years should be able to become citizens of Taiwan without having to give up our original passport. That's something we worked on this year, and I hope many of you saw the news and signed this. And as I was preparing for this presentation today, I had a few different lines of thoughts, and I was thinking about this petition because I hope that the laws can change, so that most of us, more of us who come here and love this country can also become citizens. And then I started thinking about something. And then over the last 3 days, you know, did you all know that this used to be a soccer stadium? That this very place we're standing in here used to be a soccer stadium? So I landed in Taiwan on March 7, 2000. Okay, been a while. And then on March 17, I came to this very place. I am somewhere here. This was a political rally for a coming to be President Chen Cheng-mian. So somewhere here in this crowd I was. And in Sweden, politics tend to be a kind of a low-key thing. This was a rock concert, I'm telling you. I wondered what heck of a country I had arrived in. But still, it was, you know, kind of the birth of the Taiwan democracy. And, you know, I had just, you know, thinking about this and then thinking about this petition and thinking about how fantastic this country is, but also like what Ping is saying, what do we as immigrant entrepreneurs in Taiwan contributing to this country? So it's been nearly 20 years since I organized the first event for immigrant entrepreneurs in Taiwan. I never thought that it was going to be a whole lot of people showing up, maybe 20. We had 127 people showing up. I was blown away. And then, of course, I wrote a book specifically for immigrant entrepreneurs. It's all the boring stuff that you need to know in order to be a good entrepreneur. And then after that, I gave the very first book to another president of Taiwan, Ma Ying-jeou. So if any of you are thinking about, well, he went to the rally of a DPP president and he gave the first book to a KMT president, and you're wondering, who would you vote for? And I'm saying, give me citizenship and I will tell you. Then, since 2016, we've been coming to this event and we've been doing these fantastic events, Dragon's Chamber. So over the years, we have seen, you know, entrepreneur after entrepreneur coming up here and introducing their companies, their dreams, their ambition, and it's been fantastic to see. Some of you who are on these pictures are in the audience today, and I thank you all for what you have been participating. So, now, why is this important? Well, so over the last 8 years, we've had a total of 40 finalists. Out of those 40 finalists, 22 of them are now gone. Ex-companies, they have ceased to exist. And 18 are still with us today in some form. You know, considering that most startups doesn't last very long, I think this is a pretty good, you know, testament to the resilience of the entrepreneurs that we are attracting and that we are helping. So, now, I love my life in Taiwan, but there are some issues with it. Some issues that we want to solve. So, for example, you know, My ID card here in Taiwan is what? It is an alien resident card. Have you guys ever went to Google and asked them what an alien looks like? Now, I know these people don't have any hair, but we are still not the same, okay? I hope one day maybe we can just have a ID card and just like any other person in Taiwan. We all have experienced this run, right? That we have, you know, $100 in our bank account or 100,000. We come to a bank in Taiwan, and it kind of feels like we are all smelling and haven't done our showering that morning, right? This is something that we have to work on. But the way I look at it is the only reason why banks are acting this way is because they don't know what we as immigrant entrepreneurs are contributing to this country. And that's what this event is also for. We need to stand up and be noticed. We need to show what we are contributing to Taiwan. Because in other countries, immigrant entrepreneurs are making a lot of things happening. What does these three companies have in common? They are American companies. Every one of them were founded by somebody who was born on this island, and then he moved to the US. Now, the Taiwanese government is very, very happy to embrace these people. You know, we saw the Jensen mania a few months ago, right? But what we're missing and maybe not thinking about is the fact that these people moved when they were 5, 7, and 10-year-old respectively. Usually we wouldn't see that a kid is immigrating somewhere. We would say their parents are moving. So I also want to tell the Taiwan government and the Taiwan society that maybe somebody's coming over today and setting up a restaurant, an extremely good restaurant, and maybe your kids will start the next Starbucks or the next Facebook or who knows, right? She's a smart kid. So immigrant matters. And, you know, if you're looking at other countries, immigrants start more companies than native borns. In the US, immigrants are more than twice as likely to set up a company. In the UK, 14% of all companies are set up by immigrants. Here in Taiwan, it's less than 1%. We have a long way to go. But together we can make that happen. Together we can, you know, get these other 100,000 companies set up and contributing to the economy. So we don't have this feeling. Because again, the banks don't know what immigrants can contribute. Now I'm asking you, who is the most successful immigrant entrepreneur you know? And if you say Elias, come over here and I give you a hug, but it's not true. Here another Swede. This handsome fella here came over from Sweden in 1989, and he set up a company called Scandinavian Health. Last year, he bought this little rowboat for $285 million from Paul Allen, the co-founder of Microsoft. So, today we're going to listen to 4 very passionate entrepreneurs. And maybe, if we help out each other, we invest, we mentor, we come together, maybe one day we can also purchase a little boat like this. Thank you very much for coming today, and I'm looking forward to this event.
All right, I always enjoy Elias's speeches. Very, very nice. Take that. Thank you. Okay, so we're up to the team presentations, right? So this is how it's going to work today. First, each team will have 7 minutes to pitch their ideas to our dragons. Then the dragons will ask questions to each of its presenters. After the presentations, our dragons will decide on the top 3 teams, and then we will award the prizes. So let's get the show on the road. Our first team of the afternoon is Motive Reality. Thank you so much.
is Rachel Hatch. I'm the founder of Motive Realities. As a previous tech founder with a successful exit, this has allowed me to fund and lead Motive's R&D into unlocking mobility, which led me here to Taiwan. When you put on a virtual reality headset, you are transported to exciting worlds, the metaverse. These immersive technologies allow you to explore and interact in a way that feels real. But there is a problem. Limited mobility is a critical gap preventing true VR immersion. Current solutions are limited, from point-and-click teleportation to frustrating collisions with real-world boundaries. And negative reviews of the slide mills reinforce this gap in the market. It's like trying to use a computer without a mouse, without being able to just naturally walk and run like you do in real life. True immersion remains out of reach. Omni Alpha is Motive's patent-pending all-direction motion platform, unlocking mobility so that you could just naturally walk and run about. Our platform will be compatible with visual technologies from 2D monitors to exciting holograms, VR and XR, or it can be used as a standalone motion platform. Here is a small-scale version of our technology. Mike's hands and my foot demonstrate a person's feet on the platform. Our new and novel technology, it's like a treadmill, but you can go in all directions. There is no prior art like this. We've proven it works, now we want to build for market. Because this has been a really hard problem to solve. Decades of prior art to create a consumer omnidirectional treadmill, they've all failed until now. What you have just witnessed is the holy grail of VR. Our technology achieves realistic presence. Competitors' designs fall short in achieving realistic presence, and commercial versions suffer from massive weight limitations. Our superior technology positions us for a superior competitive advantage so that we can dominate multiple billion-dollar markets where competitors struggle or are unable to enter. There are over 200 million active VR users worldwide. This is underpinned by Meta's goal of 1 billion people in VR, and soon generative AI will be transformative for VR. There will be a new era of immersive AI content because it's cheap, easy and quick to create. Because, like a mouse is to the computer, Motive's Omni Alpha is an important component for this phase of the internet. And all these rapidly growing markets will become areas of focus for Motive. Right now, we're open to early commercial adopters. We're targeting location-based entertainment providers that create XR content. They make up 60% of the out-of-home entertainment market, with a personalised outreach to establish relationships and hardware-as-a-service orders. Those that incorporate the Omni Alpha will be ahead of their competitors, satisfying consumer demand for realistic experiences and excuse me. So for free roaming VR, we will cut the rental costs by at least half, saving businesses millions of dollars a year. A snapshot of the global market shows that VR headset sales will continue to exponentially grow, and an industry report values the omnidirectional treadmill market at 1.2 billion by 2032. But actually, I think Motive will have a bigger market. We have superior technology. We can enter markets competitors cannot. And I don't think the report fully realizes the impact that generative AI immersive content is going to have, and that we are effectively an advanced treadmill. I see we will also eat into the multi-billion-dollar treadmill market. Next, we're going to build a doggy-sized motion platform, followed by a commercial human size, and then a consumer version ready for partnered production, and a 2025 consumer crowdfunding launch. Additionally, we have XR spatial compute knowledge. We're talking with multinationals so that we're poised to scale, embed, and meet global demand. We're currently pre-revenue. Our forecasts for commercial are from our target audience of location-based entertainment, hardware as a service. We got a good forecast for consumer hardware sales. We can measure that against the VR headset sales, and knowing that hardcore VR gamers make up 10% of this market. By year 3, we will add other industrial markets, and these figures only reflect this technology application only. Our OmniTech has applications in other ways for other markets. I have a proven track record of building a tech company from the ground up that was acquired. I've led successful R&D and software teams, and we've had long-term industry support. We're seeking invitations to location-based entertainment providers that want to offer unparalleled customer experiences, and we're seeking funding to accelerate development, build our team, finalise pre-commercial designs to our 2025 consumer launch. Going from an Omni Alpha from a commercial setting to a home setting, we're open to synergies and looking to expand our team to make that happen. So let's chat. Thank you.
All right, everybody, let's give her one more hand. It's a very difficult thing to get up on the stage. It's very difficult. Let's give her a hand one more time. Fantastic job. Thank you so much. Okay, so now let's open it up to the dragons for questions.
Hello.
Hello.
So thank you for a very inspiring and motivating presentation. I have tried a few products allowing me to move around in virtual reality. As you could see when I was standing, I'm not the smallest guy on this planet. So will your product be able to accumulate my size and weight?
Yes, I think it's as long as someone can walk and we handle the weight. We use sensors, 3 sensors at each point. We're looking at your hips because that's the first indication of where you're going to move. And we want to keep people, we're controlling the outside belt, keep people within the middle. So I'm not worried about your height, I'm just more worried about weight.
Hi, Richard.
Hi, Richard.
Just can you tell a couple of questions? Can you tell us how this works, what you've got in front of you, the sample?
Okay, sure. Here we go. So this is a belt, like a treadmill, a linear treadmill. The belt usually just goes in one direction. And what this is a belt that goes in all direction. And I've achieved it through overcoming stiction and the low coefficient of friction. So it's really slippery. And that comes back to design and materials. You can only partially see the design. So the outside is very elastomer-like, so it can deform, reform, and come back together. And the inside, it's very slippery.
So if you were to explain that to me like on 5, what's...
Yeah, that's really slippery, and we control the slipperiness. Does that make sense to a 5-year-old?
Looking in the room. Just wanted to ask about the revenue projections too. So on your 2 year, you had 936,000, and then you jumped to 138 million in your 3rd year on your top line revenue. Can you explain how you can achieve those?
Okay, so firstly for commercial location-based entertainment, so it's hardware as a service, so it starts to become reoccurring revenue. Year 3 we will add military and architecture. In terms of consumer hardware, I mean, I expect that to grow exponentially because it's kind of missing, and I just did that. It really only gets to like 10%. I don't even know if I hit that at year 5 because it's a big wide open market. There's also some revenue in there because I talked briefly, we do spatial XR compute, so we're talking with a multinational for maybe a rollout for a US fitness brand for fitness and software, so that would be a licensing deal, so it'd be minimum guarantees for 2 years.
Thank you for your presentation. My question is more towards understanding the user. Is this purely you're looking at fitness, or does this have rehabilitation as well? Because both those tracks are a bit different.
Okay, everybody. So it's got commercial and consumer application. For commercial, location-based entertainment, so like the Disney or where you go and do VR gaming, there's like architecture, there's military, there's a whole lot of others that have fallen out of my head right now, but mainly and primarily why I started this is I'm a gamer, so consumer gaming, that's kind of where it's at. So that will be the bigger market by far, both for hardware and digital, because we'll take a cut of the transactions that are conducted on our platform. And also, I should add, if you missed it, you can use it without VR, so it becomes a motion platform, and it's actually pure Omni technology, so you can put a chair on that and have fun moving around.
Okay, awesome. Thank you guys very much. Thank you to Motive Realities. And our next presentation will come from team number 2, UnifiedAI. Let's welcome UnifiedAI speaker to the stage, please.
Hello everybody, welcome to UnifiedAI. If I can get it right. So, what are we doing here is that we want to future-proof ourselves. So, how did it begin? Unfortunately, it was one of those things where I was in the living room on the couch, and I was speaking with a lady friend of mine who was assuring me that my financial problems are over, and I was able to get help because she is an investor. She represented an investment firm that's very, very reputable, as well as she has certificates, even brochures, and she was able to say, "Let me help you." So I trusted her with my life savings. What happened? Of course I lost it. This is the whole situation. I'm still recovering from that scam in a big $1 trillion industry. What do you guys think of when you actually go around the world? I've spoken with people from France, America, Europe, Asia. When they first see my One ID, they said, "Oh my God, the scams out there are amazing." I'm sure you guys also experienced it, or rather know someone who experienced it, or somebody who knows someone who experienced it and has suffered losses as well. Now I'll give you a demo, a little bit about it. So in this sense, the person uses One ID to identify themselves. I create One ID. Here is a company. The company creates their One ID in a blockchain. And what happened is that you have to verify yourself, of course, in One ID. One ID actually makes sure that it is you. So we have to perform a KYC with your face, and we scan a government-issued ID to you. Once we register you on the blockchain, we just discard the ID, to be honest. We don't even need to know. We just need to know you are who you say you are. That ensures all your privacy. Now, let's say a bank calls you. What you want to do is that you click on the verification, and and then you click on the One ID, and what happens is that it will show whether that certificate that the bank sent is actually true or false or not even identified. And in this case, it is a fake bank and we block it. So that's the information of it, and that's how it works. We issue that ID. Everybody have a One ID and we can self-identify ourselves. What's the advantage? Think about it. We are the only one that have tuple-way identification. Nobody else has it. We also have decentralized identity. That means that you own that identity. Nobody else has the right to access your information. People have the right to your own identification, as well as we have AI to make sure that there is no potential scams involved. And we are also very private in that sense because you own everything. And because of our duality, if you have a company that actually creates your One ID, your One ID will be erased from the company's structure, from their blockchain, and they never own your One ID. Now, how does it work? What are our milestones? These are our milestones. In 2025, first quarter, we are going to launch some pilot programs with the MVP through partnerships. We already signed a number of MOUs together in Singapore as well as in Philippines. Full-scale launch product in 2025 third quarter, as well as the expansion into international markets in 2026, along with the release of One ID with the offline verification and flexibility. This is our financial forecast. We have 12 million to start. We grow to 17.4, and it's hopefully as the market adopts, is an exponential growth. And that's my team, which I'm proud of. They are in the crowd. I am Simon. I am the founder. I am a victim, as well as I am a computer science professor, believe it or not, as well as I work with Microsoft, and I also work beginning in NEC, where I started as a security analyst in the security systems. Jiho Ryu in the crowd, he's amazing. He specializes in operating systems, and he researched in the University of Texas, where he optimizes software. And Kazumi Otani, who has worked with the government of Japan, and he's very well connected in the startup industry in Taiwan and Japan. And so, we're seeking for 5 million to start with expansion as well as our product growth. Does anybody have one? Thank you so much. Please feel free to ask. And any questions?
All right, so thank you guys very much. Let's give him a hand. And now, let's see what the dragons have to say.
Thank you for a nice presentation. I happen to have come across a few other ID solutions, and I have one, and based on what you're presenting, it would be a fantastic solution as soon as everyone has it. But before everyone has it, I can't know if the caller doesn't have it and therefore it's not verified, or if it is that someone tries to scam and therefore doesn't use it, which means that the benefit actually only comes when everyone has it, and it's the norm that everyone uses it all the time. So how do you plan to get to that position, and how many users do you actually have today? So what's the status today, and how do you plan to scale to everyone having it?
That's a very good question, Doctor. One ID is going to scale very quickly, and hopefully, as soon as the adoption is rising. But what we want to do is that we want to start with insurance companies as well as large companies. What we want to say is like, hey, you have exposure. We know that, right? Because of the scam industry, it's only a matter of time that these companies are also going to be hit with lawsuits and potential issues. Now, what we want to do is to have the industries such as the fraud industry, liabilities, to take the One ID seriously and tell their companies and tell their clients saying like, hey, we're going to cut your premium down if you adopt One ID. And so their adoption rate goes up much higher from there because of the fact that their clients then have to also install One ID to verify each other. Remember, it's a tuple-way identification, not just one way. So that's the reason why the adoption rate, once we take off, is going to be massively increased. Thank you. Thank you.
So tell us more about your MVP. You're doing it right now, right? Tell us about that.
The MVP is already launched. We are going to roll it out with our ISV friends in Singapore as well as the Philippines. They are hopefully going to integrate it with our APIs so that if they build their platforms, they can have it integrated with our APIs so that they can identify each other that way. This ISV as well is a pretty big company. I'm not going to say any names right now because our MOU is going to be signed soon. They are going to support their users, and how they're going to identify them to the users is through One ID as well.
So how are you going to charge the users? What's the cost on your projections?
That's a good question. Right now, the cost is the platform cost is at least going to eat half of the projections, but these are revenues, mind you. So if you look at the revenue of the first year, which is $12 million, that's just revenue, right? $6 million is going to be on the platform cost itself. However, the profits itself is going to be exactly half of that.
But what's the cost of to use the service?
I
individual
apologize.
cost
I apologize.
per user?
So the cost is going to be borne by the corporations. So what happens is that the corporations will have licensing, government will have licensing, but for users, it's going to be free.
My question was about the same, having a robust AR, what your revenue model is, but you're looking for $5 million in funding. How's that going to be used? How are you going to allocate it?
We're going to have to scale up, so we have to build our own blockchain. We are going to sink it into engineering and research and development for zero knowledge proofs. And we are also going to cooperate with SCCU as well to do more research on security. We cannot afford to have any mix-ups or any issues with our blockchain, and that's why we have to cooperate together with the universities for more research.
Do you have an estimation of how much of your budget will go towards customer acquisition?
About half of it is going to help us run with the platform costs as well as our employees. However, that being said, we are going to actually do a lot of work with the university. So that's where most of the money goes into, is the research and development.
Okay, let's give them a hand. Thank you guys very much. Unified AI. Thank you. Thanks so much. So I believe Sunmoon Refillery probably can't make it. So okay, so yeah, so unfortunately she had some illness. She had to decline the invitation. So unfortunately, Sunmoon will not present. So next, team number 4. Okay. So, April? Yes? Sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that. April, let's welcome April to the stage. Yes, thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm the founder and CEO of Apro. And this is John, my co-founder. Apro, it gets you to the first page of Google and
Keeps you there.
so when I came to Taiwan, I came about 15 years ago. I had rockstar ambitions. I did a little show here called Xingguang Dao Dao. Now I promised Jesse over here that I wouldn't sing on stage, so maybe we'll have a time with do KTV afterwards. So while I was here doing the show, I realized that there was a huge opportunity for software. So I opened up a digital agency, and I did that for about 10 plus years. So I did tech and SEO development here in Taiwan. While I was here and doing that, I realized that there's a lot of problems that a lot of my clients faced. Let's take, for example, this L'Oreal marketer. This poor girl, she is out of ideas. And, oh, she is pretty. She's pretty overworked. And she's over budget. She's tried ChatGPT, but you know what? She's been getting some spotty results. And her products are just not ranking on Google. So how do we rank on Google? Well, there's something called SEO. Almost no one goes to page 2, unfortunately. And most customers find businesses through Google. To rank high on Google, you need to have something called EEAT. Expertise, experience, authority, and trustworthiness. And how do you achieve this? Well, that's through content, because content is king. That's a different problem. So to do this, to make that content, to write the articles, well, Google updates about 3 to 4 times a year, and that can kill your decimate, that can decimate your rankings. One article can cost a lot of money. One article can cost about $300 US if you're looking for freelancers in the US. And if you want to do it yourself, you might be looking at 4 hours to write it. And as entrepreneurs here, you may not have the marketing technical background with SEO. And even if you do it yourself, there are time constraints. So the solution to this is AI automation to keep up to date with Google updates, use LLMs to create content quickly and efficiently. And if you don't know how to do it, well, we will guide you through the entire process of SEO marketing. Introducing Apro. In 5 easy steps, you can go from no article to finished article. Step 1, you choose your topic. Step 2, you choose your target audience. Step 3, you generate your title and outline. And step 4, make any changes that you'd like to do. And step 5, you generate that article. After you're done with that article, we'll take you over to our editor, where you can see how well you will score and make any edits that are recommended by our proprietary AI.
We are not just a ChatGPT wrapper. Our competitive advantage keeps us ahead of the curve. SEO's ever-changing landscape is a hassle in its own right. But with Apro, you can be worry-free as our product adapts to fit not only your brand, but also your industry. With Apro, you are in control of the content creation process. We allow you to modify the writing style and tone of voice, but also we allow you to inject in your own domain knowledge and align the content to your brand and customize it. With Apro, you are in control. And Apro is Grandma certified. My tech-illiterate mother, God bless her heart, is able to use Apro to create a blog post in less than 10 minutes. And APRO provides actionable insights that are resilient and resilient to changes in the SEO landscape. Our AI that we have built provides automation for marketing strategy and adapts to changes to Google's ranking algorithm that could otherwise decimate your business.
So what we have is our key differentiators, what keeps us ahead. As John had mentioned right here, we are more than just a ChatGPT wrapper with our own custom AI and LLM processes behind the scenes, generating quality content for you. Our initial target audience will be e-commerce as well as marketers. In the fashion industry, the e-commerce industry, fashion makes up 20% of all e-commerce sales. And there are more than 300,000 fashion sites on Shopify alone in the US. As for marketing agencies, there are almost 200,000 digital agencies in the US. Take advantage of our early bird pricing, starting at $60 a month with 5 articles. That's almost a little bit over $10 an article. For our total addressable market, we are looking at digital agencies as well as SMBs. We're starting with Western New York. Both John and I hail from New York, using our extensive network and leveraging that for new customers, as well as looking at the fashion e-commerce industry. In addition to this, we will be expanding into Taiwan as well. Our team comprises of 2 AI guys and a rock star. We have a very wide, diverse board of advisors, ranging from ship robot to COOs of publicly traded companies. What we're asking for today is $4 million in US for our seed round investment. This will supply us with 18 months of financing to advance our proprietary AI and reach our 4 million ARR target. We are starting with SEO, but we want to expand and revolutionize all marketing, ranging from images to video advertising. I want to thank you for your time today and look forward to talking to you.
All right, thank you very much to the APRO team. Now let's hand it over to the Dragon.
Thank you for addressing a problem that I know that many e-commerce companies really have. It's extremely devastating to see how your Google rank is dropping. And you haven't done anything. It's Google that has done it. Now, what I'm missing in your presentation is really a case study where you show a company before they were using your service and after, or alternatively, one company and then compare them to other competitors that were on the same level of rankings, and then the one started using your service, and then how it goes for the other ones. Have you done any such studies? What can you tell me?
Yes, we do not have that analysis at this moment in time. We did a very small soft launch, and unfortunately with SEO, it does take a little bit of time to ramp up, so that is what we're doing right now.
And the soft launch was like about 2 months ago, so we're very new on the scene.
Can you talk more about that soft launch and how it went? The feedback you got?
We got a lot of absolutely wonderful feedback. We were able to secure some clients, customers that is, during that soft launch over at FutureBoard. I see some familiar faces that attended as well.
Yeah, I think we want some numbers.
Oh,
Yeah. So, I mean, how many people did you close, or how many people were interested and then converted? You know, like, how many of them have actually, created content?
right now, we do have 30 active users. As for the content, I will have to get back to you on that in terms of how much was created since then.
So you said that once I write this up, your system will tell me where we should potentially rank, right? But I mean, there are more aspects to SEO than just my content. I mean, what is my competitors doing? Links coming into my website and stuff like that. I mean, those are things that the content alone can't control. So how can you tell me where it will rank?
Yeah, so you're absolutely correct. So right now, the recommendations for what the change is very content focused. But we have been working on building out other models that incorporate like all sorts of information that Google looks at. There was like a leak this past year of information on what Google looks at in terms of SEO. So like we've gone through that, and basically you're right. We're not just looking at content, but right now it's like on the site. If you use it, it's just content. But we're going to be rolling out other things that incorporate all those features as well, like all those metrics as well.
Is that the images and the video capabilities?
No. So I think the images and video capabilities we're talking about was more for like generated content. What I was just referring to is like the analytics side of things, like telling you what areas to focus on or improve, or compare, like how to compare your site with like competitors and what they're doing that you're not doing. So those are features that we're currently working on, but have not yet been fully rolled out yet.
And your price point, how will you fare against what else is in the marketplace at the moment?
Sorry, can you
Your price point?
Oh, the price point?
How you'll fare up against the other competitors in the marketplace at the moment?
Currently, against market leaders, we are a little bit cheaper on the for the U.S. market. That is, yes, we are priced competitively for that. Because there are, for example, one of our primary competitors does not do SEO analytics. In fact, you need to use plugins to be able to see the analytics for your content that is generated.
Yeah. So like for our competitors, there are competitors that are more focused on content creation, and there are competitors that are more focused on like SEO analytics for content that's already been published for your website. We're trying to hit that sweet spot of really optimizing your content as you create it. So before it's been put online.
Like a 360 solution.
And how are you going to sell this? When you're talking about companies in New York or whatever, are you going to fly there and go door by door, or?
No. I will be leveraging. We will be leveraging our network there, along with a lot of salespeople that we know there, and a sales team that is already established there to be able to sell for us in New York.
And your own product to bring customers in.
Yes, to bring product.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's give a hand to Team A Pro. And our final team, let's welcome to the stage, xSeriCon. Let's give them a hand, xSeriCon. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. Congratulations on staying awake this long, if indeed you have. We're going to take a complete shift of direction now and talk about an industry that we haven't touched on at all today yet, which is the chemical industry. So very traditional and very conservative industry. My work, which I've been doing for about 15 years now, is as a safety consultant in the chemical industry. And my clients are mostly engineering companies who are designing and building chemical facilities such as oil and gas rigs, onshore, processing plants, petrochemical plants, pharmaceutical plants, also power plants and similar, any kind of process-related operation. And in the process of designing these plants, they need to go through a series of safety studies. The purpose of these studies is to demonstrate that if something goes wrong with the plant, it's not going to lead to some kind of huge disaster, causing injury to people, damage to the environment, or destruction of the asset. And these safety studies are very detailed, very complex, very expensive. and they require software to capture the data that is generated so that you can get the maximum value out of it. And what I'd like to present to you today is our solution to the problem of how to manage the data from these safety studies, and our product is called VisOp. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Peter Clark. I've been living in Taiwan for 2 years, and before that I was in Hong Kong for about 20 years. I'm originally from the UK. I'm a graduate of Oxford, and I'm quite experienced in the chemical industry. I've been working in this industry for most of my working life, and I've spent about half of that time as a safety specialist. In particular, I've spent about 16 years doing this kind of safety consulting work. So basically, I know the industry, I know the needs, and I know how these studies are done. I've also got a little bit of credential in software development because I've already developed and launched an app that is used in the safety industry. It's called Scalability, which might sound like a silly kind of name, but there is a reason behind the name that I'm not here to explain today. And I'm running a small business called xSeriCon, which is the consulting business that will be looking after and developing, launching VisOp, our software solution. So the reason it's called VisOp is because the particular type of safety study that it will support is called HAZOP. HAZOP stands for Hazard and Operability Study. A HAZOP involves going through engineering drawings like the one that you can see in the background of this slide. Actually, I think you can't see it, but it's on the background. Basically, it shows all of the piping and equipment, all of the sensors, all of the pumps and vessels and detectors that are used to implement the chemical process. And what we do is we go through step by step, asking for each item what happens if it malfunctions, or what happens if somebody makes a mistake while they're operating the plant. Can it lead to an accident, and is there enough protection in the design to prevent that accident from occurring? It's a very long and tedious and meticulous process. For example, I just got back from doing one with Samsung Engineering in Korea. It took us 23 days of workshop time to go through for one plant. It's not even a whole plant, actually, only one module of a plant. And that was with about 20 engineers sitting in a room and more online. You can imagine it's a huge investment in terms of time and effort. So what is special about VisOp? Well, the traditional apps that are already on the market basically just involve looking at the drawing, thinking about it, and then typing in a spreadsheet. But that loses the conceptual link between the drawing and the conclusions of the study. So our app, VisOp, will be interactive. It will allow you to click and work directly on the engineering drawing, which is called the P&ID, instead of having to just think about it and then type into a separate spreadsheet. And we've got various other features. For example, it's collaborative. You've got 20 people in the room, but if it's a traditional app, only one of them can actually see what's going on the screen. So to modernize it, we're going to make that everybody can interact with the data in real time. We're also going to improve the licensing model, which we know is a pain point for our customers, and we're going to make it easier to get the data in and out of the app, which is another pain point that we know the customer always faces. So why are we in xSeriCon the right people to do this, to develop this kind of app? Well, first of all, it's because we've got the experience. We know how painful the existing software is. It's very old-fashioned. We know the users who are using it. We know also that, as far as we know, nobody else is developing anything similar to this. There's no direct competition, and we want to be the first to market. And it ties in with our corporate philosophy as well, which is to make the industry safer, to make sure that everybody who works in a chemical plant goes home safe at the end of every day. That's why we're doing this. Let's talk briefly about the competition. The existing app for doing HAZOP is called PHA Pro. As far as I know, pretty much everybody uses PHA Pro for every project. The licensing fee is in the low thousands of US dollars per year. The total revenue is at least 10 million US dollars. It's very difficult to get exact figures. and it's owned by a very large Canadian company that has a lot of different software products in its profile. So our plan is to ask for $500,000 US in investment, which will allow us to hire staff to quickly ramp up to get to launch within a few months. Actually, we're pretty close already. We'll then integrate it with our existing consulting business and rapidly gain a foothold in the market. With that, we think we can get to break even within 2 years. And we think that's feasible. That's a very conservative estimate. I'm going to leave it there and throw open the floor to questions. So thank you very much for your time and attention.
All right, let's give them a hand, everybody. Thank you very much. Now, on to the dragons for questions.
Can I get an understanding of who's going to be using the software? Is it consultants like yourself who helps the quality, or is it going to be companies who are trying to test their standards?
Right, so the actual hands-on users of the app will indeed be mostly consultants, but it will also be the engineering companies themselves. Because sometimes they will hire consultants like me to do the job, other times they will do it in-house. So it would be engineering companies, also actual owner-operator companies. For example, I recently got through doing a big project with Merck, which is one of the biggest drugs companies in the world. They do HAZOP in-house. So they have their own license. Well, they use PHA Pro, and they own a license. So it's going to be those three: consultants, engineering companies, and certain operating companies as well.
xSeriCon manages, you said will manage Visop.
Yes, so Visop is,
who owns the IP?
Visop is our invention. Yeah, so
right.
we own it.
Yeah, and so who's in xSeriCon?
xSeriCon is basically me, plus a very few other people at the moment. And xSeriCon has existed for about the last 9 years. So I came out of working for large consulting companies, decided to go it alone, and so I've been running this consulting business with a training arm and also software development for 9 years.
So how much more work is it to come up with the first sellable version?
We're very close, actually. On the slides we said 6 to 12 months, but actually we're almost there. We think we can do it within 3 months to get from where we are now to an MVP which we can actually sell and which can feasibly compete with PHA Pro.
And do you have a list of, let's say, 100 potential customers to call?
Yes, we do indeed, because one of the advantages of working, the reason why we're in a good position to do this is because I've got all the customer contacts. I know all the users within this region, and I've got contacts within Europe and the US, Canada and the Middle East, where the big markets are. So yes, without doubt, I could write a list right now of 100 potential users to reach out to.
So the biggest potential here is definitely the hours that would be saved during the whole process. So since you have been using PHA Pro in many projects, how many hours does it save compared to not using it at all? And how many hours do you envision that your product will save the day you launch it? And how many hours will it save a year after you have launched it? And then 5-10 years after?
Right, okay, very good question. I think that is really the crunch. That's what the customers are going to ask, is their immediate reaction is, how is this going to save me time? Which means save money, because you're saving the time of all those very expensive engineers. So the short answer to your question, if you don't use PHA Pro, then usually what we do is we do it in Excel instead. And I'm going to be frank with you and hope that nobody here from PHA Pro is listening. It doesn't save any time at all. You can do it almost just as efficiently in Excel compared with PHA Pro. Our software, I'm going to very conservatively say that we can save 5 to 10% of the workshop time. Actually, it might well be more than that, but let's say that 23-day study that we just got through, I think we could shave 1 to 2 days off that by using a more efficient app. However, I would like to take this opportunity to say that the time saving is not the only benefit that we foresee. Because one of the reasons why HAZOP is done is not just to get a tick in the box to say, yes, we've done the safety study that all of the regulators insist on, the insurance companies insist on, but also because the report and the data that comes out of that is extremely valuable for the whole life of the plant, but only if you can access it and you can make sense of it. And if all you see is a massive spreadsheet that was written by 20 stressed engineers sitting in a room for 20 days, actually a year or two down the line is pretty much useless because it's already out of date and you can't follow their train of thought. But PHA Pro, no, VisOp, the one we're making, is the one that we're going to solve those problems by making sure that the link between the input data and the output is still there and it's bi-directional, which PHA Pro loses that link. So you can never backtrack to find out, why were certain decisions made, what was the rationale between the results, between the input and the results of the study.
So you mean that you will be feeding in real-time data through the life of the process into your software and thereby make sure that it's all up to date all the time?
In some sense, yes, you can do that. Just to give one very small example, what very often happens during the development phase, because here we're talking about the development phase of a plant, is that the reference numbers, which we call tag numbers for the individual devices, like let's say you have a pressure sensor, it gets changed because some engineering decision decides it has to change. In the old version of the PHA Pro, that is frozen forever, and you can never backtrack to find out what the number actually was at the time the study was done. Whereas with VisOp, you'll be able to say, oh look, here's a list of old and new numbers, and VisOp will say, oh fine, then I'll show you the new numbers, and not the old numbers, because that's what you really want to see.
Peter, I'm just looking at the industries that you're drawing on, petro, pharma, oil and gas.
Right.
They're big, they've got big checkbooks. I'm just looking at your projections there on, I think it was the third year, you're doing 199K in profit. I'm just wondering, can you charge more? These are, where's the opportunity to make more profit?
Yeah, we can charge more. I think there is a lot of scope to add more functionality. Because at the moment we're trying to think about what can we realistically do with a small team. So we're trying to think in terms of a relatively narrow set of functionality. However, there is a huge amount of additional added value that we can add. If we grow the team, we have more coders and more developers, we can actually add a lot of functions. If I might just very briefly explain one thing that we could do. Nowadays the industry is talking a lot about something called digital twin. The idea of digital twin is you have a real plant and you also have an imaginary plant which just runs in a computer, running with AI, and it's basically the whole plant, but it's not real, it's a virtual plant. And they're connected together with real-time data interchange so that the behavior of the digital twin matches the behavior of the real plant as much as possible. Now what we might be able to do in future is to link VisOp to that, so that VisOp can actually talk to the digital twin and say, if something goes wrong, let's do an experiment in the digital twin and say, let's break something and see what happens. Now at the moment, PHA Pro has no possibility, has no function that it can connect to a digital twin. But VisOp could, because of the way we built it, the way we structured the data, actually could do that. Now that's not intended for like version 1 or 2 or 3, but that is very feasible for down the line. And actually the client might be willing to pay quite handsomely for a license that would do that.
Okay, thank you guys very much. One more hand. Thank you so much. So that was the last of our presentations. Right now, our dragons will be taking a break to deliberate and discuss, and we will see them soon. So thank you very much. We actually have one more bonus presentation for you guys. So for many years, the Dragons Chamber has cooperated with the Dominican International School and their teacher, Maricia H. D'Souza in Yuanshan, to promote entrepreneurship among young people. So they are high schoolers, they're learning about entrepreneurship. It's been the 7th year now. So right now I would like to invite the high school team up to present. Let's give them a round of applause, guys. It's a very difficult thing to get on the stage. Thank you so much. All right.
Hi, my name is Evelyn. I'm a grade 12 student from Dominican International School, Yuanshan. And it's an honor to stand here to present myself today. So I started to do live streaming as a singer when I was 13 years old. And then I earned my first income about 100,000 every single month since I started being a singer. And also I started running my own social media by doing a lot of singing and promoting my own projects, and a base of 10,000 followers across all platforms. And then in the age of 15, I started a woman product brand named Animiko. I sell accessories, bags, and also sleepwears. And in the age of 15, I never thought that I'm gonna find an investors to my business, so we don't have enough budget to do whatever we want. I use the saving money when I do my live streams, singing as the starting money. And because lack of experience, we moved really slowly and we didn't really do any progress after all. The profit for Animiko, the first year was 100,000 NT before cost, and the second year is 150,000 before cost. And by going through this experience, my parents are actually really disagree about me doing business, and my parents have a highly old-minded about women shouldn't do business. So they forced me to stop everything I'm doing and want me to focus on my academic work. But after all of these experience, I figured out that there's a lot of things that I have to improve, not just only the selling skills, but also how to speak in public and improve a lot of things. So I went to a company named Kenny's, which I learned a lot of sales skills, personal IP building and everything. And now I'm 17. I feel like I'm ready to do a new thing again. So then this is my new project, my new brand, Smell%. This brand is a mixture of using traditional Chinese herbs with modern skincare technique in a lip product that I'm doing. For Chinese cultures, we really look at health and wellness about life. It's all about finding balance with nature. So we're adding a lot of Chinese herb ingredients in our product to also benefit the inner and outer harmony. And the idea of both balancing harmony, it's also really matches a lot about how modern people find their balance in their health and also sustainable lifestyle. This is a projection about how people are aware about their skincare. Mostly still women that everywhere who really cares about their skin, but now in Asia a lot of male are involved in skincare products. Projection of growth in incomes and profit over 5 years. The blue line is about the total income, the green line is about the total profit, and as the graph shows, it's pretty balanced. Business model, extract ideas, brand position, product manufacturing, sales methods, sales produce, and very important reflection and improvement since that we are really young team. One of the advantage of our product is we are customized, so it doesn't matter which gender you are, which race you are, or where you are. It's based on every single product for every single customer is based on which place you are and how your lifestyle is to find the fit product for you. One of the advantage is we have a really special, unique shape for our product that's soft plastic at the front head, so it could take care of every single angle of your lip that doesn't miss any parts. Another advantage is original art design packages, and the artist is here. We made a lot of different characters for every single packages, and also collection, because now a lot of young generation people like to collect stuff, and we think it's a really good idea to make something fun on the packages. Promotion, we're using Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube to promote our product. We have our own Instagram right now to promote. Future plan, our plan is not just only make profit, but also spreading out Chinese traditional herbs to the world, to Western country, and putting more Chinese herbs ingredient into different products. Why we need investment? Because Chinese herbal are really high initial costs, bigger budget for marketing, web and app development, collaborations, young team with creative thought but lack of experience for balance. We need someone who's really experienced to tell us which part of our project needs improvement. And this is our mission statement, the reason for you to smile. Thank you for listening, and this is my contact if you are interested in anything I'm talking about today. Thank you.
All right, very nice. Congratulations, that's fantastic.
But before we announce that, we will kind of have a little bit of discussion up here so that you kind of get the glimpse into what our thought processes have been. So, guys, if we start with our first presenter, Motive, hardware is sometimes hard. You know, where do you think that the biggest challenges will come in here?
Yeah, I like the idea. I think the question for Motive is the defensibility. Besides the patent, what else is defensible? Yeah.
So I think there's a very clear need. That's why I felt so motivated by the presentation. Now, I think the real challenges will be in manufacturing at the cost point so that it can reach the mass market potential that exists, and then making sure that it's at the same time durable. So what I would really like to see is like, what's the cost gonna be per hour of usage in terms of energy and wear for it? What's gonna be the cost to manufacture a unit? And how often will it need service? What's the durability of it? Because those details are, in the end, actually gonna determine how well this product succeeds on the market.
And I think that translates a lot to the affordability, because a lot of the industries that she's targeting, there's been some resistance to embrace virtual reality, but particularly in the health sector, I think there's a lot of people who would be interested, and they've got more purchasing power. So it's just making that model viable enough that she's got a sustainable business model.
I mean, a few years ago, Facebook kind of changed their name to Meta and all that stuff. There was so much talk about virtual reality and so on. Is this really happening? Is there really going to be such a huge market for people running in place?
I think it's good not to be on the first wave. I think a lot of people have learned that, and if this is like what Meta's learned, and now they're coming back with, you know, the glasses and potentially the second wave, if she can ride that and have the right distribution, because, you know, there's a lot of potential usages out there, and in terms of addressable market size, it is growing exponentially. If she can ride those huge tailwinds, then there's a lot of potential.
Yes, I agree with you. There's a lot of potential. There will definitely be enough users if just the price point can be brought down. So one of the key things I'm thinking about is where is actually the right beachhead vertical for her to start, because it needs to be a market willing to really pay a good premium to cover the costs to develop the product, to get it to a mass market ready technology.
All right, moving on to Unified ID. You know, scams is a huge problem. I think $1 trillion cost to the world's economy or whatever. But do you think that this is a solution for it? Is this what we need?
No, I don't think so, because this is a solution which runs into the chicken and hen problem or chicken and egg problem, I should say, hen and egg problem, in an extreme case. You only really get the benefit in terms of solving the fraud and scams when you have mass adoption. And you are not going to get mass adoption unless you have a clear value proposition. And I don't see that the value proposition is there. I see that there's many competing solutions already on the market providing digital IDs of different types. Some with national support already are dominating on the local market. So for example, in Sweden we have something called Bank ID, which is supported by all the banks. They all use it, all insurance companies use it. Most companies that require a secured identification use it, but it doesn't solve the scam issue. Scams still exist. And coming in on that market in Sweden is just going to be really hard and slow. So unfortunately, no.
There is no way of reaching everybody?
I think it's front of mind for everyone. You know, if someone's been affected by a person who's been scammed or there's fraud, so you know it's front of mind for all of us. But I'm just not sure whether that technology is, you know, in terms of the regulatory framework, and some countries are not embracing the blockchain, particularly here. You know, talking about Taiwan, some of the archaic banking system we have here, and how that might then be embraced. But I'm not sure in terms of market understanding what the opportunity looks like, and I don't really understand the technology enough to pass comment.
Right. Larry, would you give some advice to the company?
Yeah, but my thoughts are pretty much the same with the other dragons. I think it does address a specific problem, but there is a very high barrier of entry to be able to surpass.
All right. Moving on to A-Pro. So obviously, every one of us who are running a business needs to be creating content. And most of us, you know, we need to promote ourselves. Is A-Pro going to be the solution that we need?
I mean, I think it's a good product, and I like the addition of trying to expand out of content into image and video eventually. I think what I would like to see is how it can adapt out of SEO. I think right now we're looking at how we're using search. In my old days, using Google search is the primary way for me to look for information. But now when we look at the statistics for generation or Gen Z, a lot of it is moving out and using other social platforms to be able to do search. So I would like to see that sort of maybe adaptation to see if we can change the model or be able to increase the model out of SEO.
Richard, you mentioned that you haven't used Google in a while.
Yeah, it's been probably months for me. And the guys know this on ChatGPT. I'm a huge fan of the platform, and obviously the paid version. It's Google for me is redundant. I don't look to use it, and I never liked the platform. So it's always been a challenge for me to look at how the paid model works, and in terms of, I know the opportunity where there's content writing and the challenges of finding good content creators for SEO, but yeah, I'm a big ambassador.
We have the Google booth
JJ,
over there. Somebody should tell them that Google is redundant.
Well, Google have realized that themselves. They have Gemini, so they are not going to become redundant. But I have actually second-hand, so to say, seen what happens to a company that is based on writing quality articles, having top Google rank based on that, and then Google goes and changes the algorithm, changes it in such a way that you can't get a top rank unless you have paid ads with Google, which they then a little bit rolled back after 1 year. I think they got a bit too bad feedback from it. So I really understand the problem. I think it's right to solve it with AI, because humans can never react quickly enough to these changes that Google is doing. But I think just focusing on how the articles are written is not sufficient. It needs to be a more holistic picture that actually takes all the variables into account that Google are using for doing their search ranks. Now, even though I like ChatGPT, and I basically only Google when ChatGPT gives me the wrong URL, so I have to try to find it anyway. But I think Google will stay around, search engines will stay around, so it is a market where there will be a need, even though a big part of the search space will be eaten by ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and Perplexity, and the other ones. So I think you need to double down on the work you are doing and then actually demonstrate it. Do case studies with customers, because that's what I'm really missing.
All right, our last presenter, xSeriCon. This is obviously a big market. It needs to be done right. So what do we think? His numbers, good, bad, small, big?
The numbers, in terms of the
sales?
Sales, yeah, I think you could think of it bigger. I mean, they're big spenders. Coal, gas, petro, and nuclear wasn't mentioned there, but that includes the HAZOP. So I think they have, particularly not just in terms of the engineering, engineers are thousands of dollars a day, and 23 working on one processor module to look at the cost savings, but also the safety, and then to be able to have that digital twinning opportunity. I mean, it's really exciting, I think, to look at how much more you could charge and expand the business model out to show more exciting projections in terms of financial profitability and raising more capital.
Right. Now, what do you think is the biggest challenge for Peter?
I mean, initially looking at the industry as being dominated by PHA Pro, I think the biggest thing is how do you take part of that market share, because there's a cost of switching. And I think adding the value of what you want to do with it, I think is the key.
So I think Peter's current strategy to basically make a better version of the PHA Pro is good in the sense that that enables customers to switch with confidence. In particular, given that you use the open file formats the way I assumed, in other words, that you ensure compatibility towards PHA Pro so that people could switch back, because then you remove this huge barrier to switching as soon as people feel confident, oh, I can always switch back if needed. But then beyond that, actually the thing that worries me the most is that you mentioned digital twin could be added in the future. I would center it around digital twin from the very beginning, design it for digital twins, because digital twins is how we are gonna model processes, do this kind of studies in the future. And to me, you seem to in every way have the industry domain knowledge that is required to go after this market. So you sit on a fantastic opportunity to both do good, make the industry safer and better for everyone, save money and make money. And I think you're underestimating your potential of making money by an order or two of magnitude.
All right, thank you very much for that. So thank you everybody for your thoughts. Now let's step down, sit down, and it's time to announce the winners.
All right, also we do have the results now. So for third place, I would like to invite Elias up to the stage to present third place. And Jesse, please, use the trademark. Invite you guys to the stage with the award. Let's give him a hand. Yes, everybody is very anxious at this moment, I'm sure. Okay, so welcome to the stage. The third place team is April. Come on up, April. Congratulations. Good job, bro. Good job, guys. Thank you. All right, give him a hand. Third place, April. Good job. And for second place, I would like to invite Richard Brown and Tjorborn Nordling up to the stage, please. They will be presenting the award for team number 2. Beautiful, okay. And team number 2 is Motive. All right, Motive, up to the stage, please. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Give her a hand. All right, team number 2, very good. Thank you very much. Give her a hand, Motive. And to reward the first place, I would like to invite Tao Wei Wang and Andrew Clerk to the stage, please. All right. All right. Okay. And the winner of the 2024 Dragons Chamber is xSeriCon. Welcome to the stage and congratulations. Maybe we can move to the middle a little bit. Middle of the stage, please. Congratulations! Give them a hand! Alright, and now we'll just keep you guys up there. We would like to invite all the teams up to the stage. The Dragons, the sponsors, everybody up to the stage for one photo, please. All the teams, the Dragons, the sponsors, up to the stage, please. And thank you very much. Watch your step. All right, maybe we can move over a little bit. Tall people in the back, please. All right, there we go. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. very much. We would like to wish congratulations to our winners. Let's give all our presenters today a big round of applause. And finally, I would like to invite everyone to stick around for the next half an hour so that you guys can network with each other. There's a bunch of amazing people here with some great ideas. Be sure to make the best of it. Thank you guys for coming today, and we hope to see you again next year at our 10th annual Dragons Chamber. Thank you guys very much. See you next time. Bye-bye.